We have to be very, very careful with explaining this and knowing our numbers and knowing the science behind it, right? Because when we look at where her body metrics are, the weight is at 276. She went down in December to 268, but then she climbed back up to 272. A person seeing this will be sad, they'll feel emotional. This person is coming in consistent every single week. And why is she going from 268 all the way back up to 272 when she's following the meal plan, she's working out, she's exercising? Why is that the case? Okay, well, the case and the reason is because her body fat percentage, because that's the next important metric. And this is really important too. If you don't know what your body fat percentage is, find that out if you're trying to lose body fat, right? Not weight, because muscle and fat both weigh the same. At 48% is where she started, right? And that was in October when we did a scan. She actually was in her 50s when she started in the summertime. Now, 48%, she went down to 47, and now she's down to 45, right? So what does that mean? That means that she's lost body fat and she's built up muscle. So when you take 272 pounds and you multiply that by 45%, that gives us 123, which means she went from 133 pounds of raw fat in her body to 123 pounds of fat. So now she's really lost 9 pounds, but on the scale, it went down, right? Let's go back to this. It went down from 276 to 268 back to 272. But when we look at her fat mass, that went all the way down. So that went down 9 pounds. That's a good trend of solid fat. When we look at muscle versus fat, right? So she's lost 2 of this, 2 solid this. I mean, like, this is fat. Like, this is real body fat. I'm not talking about muscle mass also in the process. So when you say, oh, I looked on a scale and I lost 19 pounds or 20 pounds, did you lose muscle mass or did you lose fat, right? Our clients here will know the difference. Now, when we look at her muscle mass, she actually went up. She went from 136 to 142. So she gained 5.8 pounds of muscle. Now this is on track because it takes 4 to 6 weeks to build up 1 pound of muscle. So that's going to help her right now with 5.6. So let's just say 6 pounds, right? If you have 5 pounds, she's burning 251 calories at rest every single day. So now she's already on the right path. So when we look at where she was, you can clearly see that she was bigger. Now she's getting smaller. This is body composition. But on a scale, it looks like she went up. But the truth is her muscle mass went up and her body fat went down. That is the beauty of knowing the actual numbers and knowing the actual science, because then when we start looking at where her waist is, we can see that her waistline went down. She lost 2.4 inches of waistline. Well, that's the height around waist. When we look at that, she's at 2.2. She lost 2 inches down right here. So she lost fat around her waist, which is the most important thing. More fat, another 2 inches. And then right here, all the way down, this is her hip flexor. So when we look at where she was and we cross-section this and we put this in, we can see where her old waist was compared to where her new waist was. So this was her outer waist. This was the old waist, and the green is her new waist. So now we have the ability to see that she's actually getting down with her goals in this recomposition. So when we see it on a scale, don't feel bad. You just got to know your numbers. You have to know the difference between muscle and lean muscle. Muscle carries fat, lean muscle doesn't. So what's happening is she's destroying the actual muscle mass and building lean muscle mass in place, which subsequently allows the fat to actually go down. And that right there is how you actually change. This is how you turn a winter gut into a summer butt. I said what I said.